So after almost 5 years, Apple has finally updated the Beats Studio Pros. Now, even though I enjoy how these headphones sound, and they have a decent sounding microphone on them for phone calls, I feel that it's very hard to justify these for a pair of premium ANC headphones. But today, we're going to see how the Beats Studio Pros compare directly to both the Bose QC45s and the Bose NC 700s. Regarding pricing, the Beats Studio Pros retail for $350, whereas the Bose NC 700s have a retail price of $380 and the Bose QC45s have a retail price of $330. But both of Bose's headphones like to go on sale now, and the Bose QC45s routinely like to go on sale for $280. And the Bose QC45s are currently my favorite headphones to use and recommend. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these headphones up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. Now first, let's talk about the included cases. Both of Bose's headphones come included with hard shell cases, which will protect your headphones if you cram them into your backpack or carry-on. But personally, I do prefer the Bose QC45's case here, because their case is way smaller, making it much easier to travel with these headphones. Whereas the NC 700's case has a larger footprint to it, because these headphones have a lay-flat design to them. But then there are the Beats Studio Pro, and these come included with a soft shell case, and I feel that this is unacceptable for a pair of premium ANC headphones, because who knows, they can get crushed if you plan on traveling a lot with them. But now let's talk about the headphones themselves. Regarding fit, this is a big problem for the Beats Studio Pro. First off, the Beats Studio Pros have a lot of clamping force, making them not Big Head approved. Whereas both of Bose's headphones are Big Head approved because they have less clamping force, giving them a looser and more comfortable fit. But the Bose QC45s have a super loose fit to them, making them even more comfortable than most other headphones out there. But another issue on the Beats Studio Pro is the lack of range of motion on their ear cups. These ear cups apply a little more pressure on the front of your ear than on the back, making them feel a little unnatural when they're on your head. Whereas with both of Bose's headphones, their ear cups have a lot more range of motion. So their ear cups apply an even amount of pressure around your ears, making them feel more natural. But then there is the padding underneath their headband. The Studio Pros have very little padding underneath their headband, so they can create a hot spot on the top of your head after like 30 or 40 minutes, which can get very uncomfortable. Whereas hotspots aren't an issue for either of Bose's headphones because their headbands both have a lot of padding to them. But then there are the ear pads themselves. Now, the ear pads on the Beats are very shallow, so even if you have a normal size ears like me, these ear pads will press down on your ears, which can get very uncomfortable after a while. Whereas with both of Bose's headphones, both have very spacious ear pads, and both ear pads will be able to accommodate most ear types, and even if you have very large ears or ears that stick out a lot, they will both have you covered. Although I will point out that the QC45s are a little more spacious. So overall, both of Bose's headphones are way more comfortable than the Beats Studio Pro, but the Bose QC45s are the most comfortable headphones here because they're also the lightest. The Bose QC45s weigh in at 237 grams, whereas the Beats Studio Pros weigh in at 260 grams and the Bose NC 700s weigh in at 264 grams. Now, both the NC 700 and Beats weigh an average amount for premium ANC headphones, but I would consider the QC45s to be lightweight. So the QC45's lighter weight just helps makes these headphones even more comfortable because they're easier to forget that you have on, and they're way less noticeable on your head when you're walking around with them on. So overall, the Bose QC45s are the most comfortable headphones here, and that's one of the reasons why I like them so much. But now let's talk about tech specs. The Beats Studio Pros have an advertised battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on, and with their active noise cancellation turned off, they can go for as long as 40 hours. Whereas with the Bose QC45s, these have an advertised battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. But unfortunately, you cannot use these headphones with their active noise cancellation completely turned off, so you can't extend their battery life that way. But then there are the Bose NC700s, and these have an advertised battery life of 20 hours with active noise cancellation turned on. And you can use them with the active noise cancellation completely turned off, so you can extend their battery life that way. But overall, I will admit that the Beats Studio Pros have the best battery life here. Now, when it comes to charging these headphones, all of these headphones charge via a USB-C port, as they should. But when it comes to the fast charging of these headphones, they are pretty different. Now, with the Beats Studio Pros, if you were to plug them in for 10 minutes from a dead battery, they're going to get you 4 hours of playback time. Whereas with the Bose NC700s, if you plug them in for 15 minutes from a dead battery, they're only going to get you 2 hours of playback time. And with the Bose QC45s, they're going to get you 3 hours of playback time from that same 15-minute charge. But also with the Beat, you can use their USB-C port as a wired connection, whereas with the USB-C ports on both of Bose's headphones, they're strictly used for charging. But you can always still just use a wired connection with either of these headphones because they all still have an audio jack, which honestly is a surprise for the Beats Studio Pros. Because I thought Apple was going to remove their audio jack like how they did with the AirPod Max. Just keep in mind that with the Beats Studio Pros, they have a 3.5mm audio jack, which is what we like to see, whereas with the Bose's headphones, they're using 2.5mm audio jacks. Now, when it comes to wireless connectivity, both of Bose's headphones can be simultaneously connected to any two Bluetooth devices at the same time, so you can easily hot swap from one device to another, which is really good if you're a power user with devices from different ecosystems. Now, the Beats Studio Pros are also good for power users because it's also relatively easy to switch from one device to another with the Beats Studio Pros, but it's just not as seamless as with Bose's headphones, because with the Beats Studio Pros, these can only be connected to one device at a time, and if you want to switch from one device to another, you have to go into your other devices Bluetooth menu and call for the Beats Studio Pros to switch over to them, so it's just not as seamless as with Bose's headphones. But when it comes to overall performance, all of these headphones have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, all of these headphones have support for SBC and AAC. Unfortunately, none of these headphones have support for higher quality audio codecs like either Sony's LDAC or aptX. But with all of that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Now, Bose's headphones and the Beats Studio Pros sound very different, and they are going to please very different people. With the Beats Studio Pros, these have a stock bass heavy EQ. The bass on these headphones both resonates and kicks a decent amount. If you want to physically feel your bass, then these are the headphones to get. But even though these headphones have a bass heavy sound signature, the vocals and instrumentals have good detail to them, and these sound a lot more balanced than their predecessor. But then there are the Bose. Both of Bose's headphones are better suited for people who like a more neutral sounding headphone or something that sounds more open than the Beats. Because with Bose's headphones, their bass doesn't kick nearly as much as the bass found on the Beats. Now, you can go in on either of Bose's headphones and you can adjust their EQ to your liking, but still, these headphones aren't going to rattle your head as much as the Beats. Overall, I think more people are going to prefer the sound of the Beats Studio Pro because of the physicality in their bass, and having that kick in your bass is fun when you're listening to music or watching movies. But the Bose are going to be better suited for someone who wants a more neutral sound signature out of their headphones. But a lot of people assume that the Bose sound flat. They don't sound flat, they just sound different. But when it comes to the media controls on these headphones, the Beats are using physical buttons, and some people just prefer physical buttons on their headphones, that's fine. But personally, I don't like the layout of the buttons on the Beats because I hate that you have to press the ear cups into your head, and plus they're on the left side. Whereas with the Bose QC45s, these are also using physical buttons, but their buttons are on the right ear cup and they're on the side. So pressing them is a lot more comfortable because you're not jamming these ear cups into your head. And then there are the NC700s, which are using a touchpad. This touchpad is fine, but it is a little small, and adjusting the volume on these headphones can be a little awkward. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these headphones. Now, as of August 2023, the Sony 1000 XM5s are currently the king of active noise cancellation, but the Bose QC45s aren't too far behind. So combined with their amazing comfort, small case, and very impressive active noise cancellation, the Bose QC45s are my favorite headphones to fly with. But then there's the active noise cancellation on the Beats Studio Pro. Their active noise cancellation performs more in line with a pair of mid-tier ANC headphones headphones, but so that you can see for yourself, we're going to jump into the ANC test. So like you may have just seen, the Bose QC45s block out the most amount of noise here. They also block out more noise than the premiumly priced Bose NC 700s. But then there are the Beat Studio Pros whose active noise cancellation is more in line with that of a pair of mid-tier ANC headphones. Now the ANC on the Beat Studio Pro is going to be useful on, let's say, a bus or slightly chatty office. But if you plan on traveling or flying a lot, then I highly recommend the Bose QC45s because of their superior ANC and comfort. But then there's the ambient mode on these headphones. Now all of these headphones have an ambient mode and all of these ambient modes sound good. But with both the Beat Studio Pros and Bose QC45s, you can't adjust their ambient mode to your liking. Whereas with the Bose NC 700s, you can adjust their ambient mode to your liking. But more importantly, the NC 700s are the only headphones here that have a conversation mode where they will automatically lower the volume of your music and pump in all of the ambient sound around you so that you can talk to someone without having to remove your headphones like this. And then when you press their ANC button again, they'll go back to normal again. And personally, I really like having these types of features on my headphones because it's super useful, especially if you're traveling with your headphones, because then this way you can have very quick conversations with people without having to fully remove the headphones themselves. And I'll be honest, this is the only feature that I miss on the Bose QC45s because the Bose QC45s just don't do this, even though I feel that they easily could. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, overall, I feel that all of these headphones have decent sounding microphones on them to take phone calls with while in a quiet room. But I do think the Bose NC 700s sound a little better than the Bose QC45s because these are doing a better job of focusing on my voice. But then there are the Beat Studio Pros, which I feel are doing the best job of focusing on my voice. But I also think the Beat Studio Pros do the best job here of dealing with noise pollution, because right now the Beat Studio Pros are doing a really good job of reducing all of this road noise. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Beat Studio Pros, it is severely reduced. Now, the Bose NC 700s are also trying to reduce this road noise, but they just aren't doing as good of a job as the Beat Studio Pros. And with the Bose QC45s, you can hear a decent amount of road noise in the background. And it's the same thing when it comes to blocking out chatter. You can hear a decent amount of chatter in the background with the Bose QC45s. And with the Bose NC 700s, these are doing a slightly better job of blocking out this chatter. But with the Beat Studio Pros, these are doing the best job here of dealing with this chatter. So overall, I feel that all of these headphones have decent sounding microphones on them for phone calls, but I do feel the Beat Studio Pros have the best performing microphone here, and they also do the best job here of dealing with noise pollution. But with all of that being said, I will admit that the Beat Studio Pros have a decent sounding microphone on them for phone calls. I like how they sound, and they have the best battery life here. But for me, it is hard to justify them over other premium ANC headphones like either the Bose QC45s or Bose NC 700s, because first off, their active noise cancellation doesn't compare to the ANC on either of these two headphones, and the Beat Studio Pros are just so uncomfortable to wear, especially when compared to Bose's headphones. If your headphones don't fit well, you're not going to want to wear them. But also, the Beats Studio Pros don't come included with a hard shell case, which is standard for premium ANC headphones. For me, the Beats Studio Pros are a hard pass, and if you're trying to choose between the Bose QC45s and NC 700s, I highly recommend the Bose QC45s because of their better active noise cancellation, more comfortable fit, slightly better battery life, and smaller case. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.